So I'm gonna have you just run through it, all through it first. Before we do that,
that's fine.
what are your hopes or goals for this session?
Just to get people to realize that mental illness is obviously something that's important, and also that like social anxiety is a real thing. Like there's so many people that don't believe that social anxiety is something. A lot of people also believe that anxiety is just something that you can push off, like, oh, that's not a big deal, just get over it. Because like people my whole life have told me just get over it, and it's like, no, like it's something that is real. Mental illness is obviously something real. And a lot of people deal with it, but I have so many friends who don't deal with that and have never experienced it. So I just want to like talk about that and get people to realize, like, even if you can't tell that somebody has it, somebody might.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Do you have any like technical things you want to get accomplished today with like the coaching session?
Like technical, like slide wise or something.
Or like whatever you hope to get out of this coaching.
I don't think so. I need to work on like the technical stuff myself. I just wanted to get the speech like done and over with and written, so
Okay.
no technical stuff is really needed.
Alright, whenever you're ready, just
Okay.
run through it and I'll
Alright, we got this. Alright. So, alright. Everyone has dealt with some kind of fear in their life before. May it be like fear of heights, fear of flying, fear of insects, or the fear of like tight and closed spaces. And of course, this might seem irrational to some people, but to the people who deal with it day-to-day basis, like that is real to them. So there are a few fears that people can be afraid of when they're exposed to it, but like also these fears, if they're exposed to it, like they don't have to deal with it every single day. So a fear that remains consistent to millions of people around the world is a fear known as SAD, which is funny, it's called SAD, social anxiety disorder, and that is like an intense fear of some sort of social situation, no matter where you are. It could be like certain social situations or like all social situations, and just being afraid of being judged, negatively evaluated, or like rejected in a social situation of some way. And it's like the third largest psychological disorder and one of the top 10 fears that people have worldwide. So it's just crazy that we don't realize, some people don't realize that they have it at all. So I'm sure that you've experienced some sort of like society or social situation before where you feel anxious, like maybe going to like a party, just feeling nervous, being like thinking about like what's going to happen when you talk to people. And the constant fear of being social with others, saying something wrong, disapproval from others, the thought of not fitting in, or like the constant negative loop inside of your mind. So that is my all-day, everyday life. And it all started in high school, when I was in high school. I would avoid any social situation at all. Sorry, I'm just trying to think.
You're fine.
Okay. Yeah, so like high school, I would continue my high school career. And as I did, I was in extracurricular activities. I did so many extracurricular activities at first. And then soon enough, I just started like going down on it and I would not keep up with it. I would go home every day, go up to my room and be by myself most of the time. So, and, sorry, I'm just a mess.
You could, this is way more than I
Okay, so I began avoiding like all possible encounters that I could. I would even avoid like talking to my parents. I would stay up in my room. I would wait until they went to bed to like be able to like even talk, like be by myself at all, not even talk to them as much. I would avoid phone calls from friends so that way I didn't have to like deal with being social with people, which is a problem. And at the point, I didn't realize that it was actually a problem. When I went off to college, my first year, I lived in the dorms with a roommate, and I thought that possibly this would be better, like to have somebody there, you know, to meet somebody new, not be by myself all the time, like, and it was scary, of course, like my social anxiety took over, but I didn't realize, I was just like, well, obviously this girl could be like different, think of me different, and when the time came to move in, we met each other, we talked, we became acquaintances, but it was not how I thought it was going to be. And she was different than I. She was extroverted, she was confident, she would go around to parties all the time, talk to people, but as I would be introverted, anxious, by myself, and not really talk to anybody at all because of my social anxiety. So she moved out, and at the point when she was still with me, and like as I told her about like my anxiety and stuff, she told me, you need to get over your problems, as like many people have told me. but it's not something that you can actually just get over. And so my isolation anxiety got the best of me, and a good friendship that could possibly happen was just ruined. But I mean, things happen. Once again, I was by myself, and I figured as much that it was better to stay away from social situations after that. And for 2 years, not 2 years, no, for the rest of the semester, it was 3/4 of the school year, I had a dorm room to myself. So I just stayed there on my own, not really talking to anybody. And I tried to go to like clubs and activities outside of my classes and do that, show up, but the fear of socializing just took over, just people judging me, thinking about it, thinking that I'm different than I actually am, maybe I'm not good enough, and the whole year I made 2 friends that I'm still good friends with, but I knew that was too much in my head, but no matter what, I avoided most contact with people throughout the year, which kind of sucks. But talking to people was hard and still is definitely, and being social is almost like an out-of-body experience for me sometimes. It's like I'm there trying to listen, but most of the time I'm in my head thinking, you know, what if they think of me? What if they think I'm annoying? What if? It's just like a constant like mind game, like it's just a loop over and over again, and it's horrible. But I had no idea out of my mind then, but soon enough I found a solution, and someone offered me to, they have like a solution, they're like, this will help boost your mood, help you be social, and if only for a short amount of time. But then I started to take unprescribed drugs to help with my social anxiety, which is way like, boom, I know, that's a lot, that's a whole lot. I need to figure out a way to say that right. But almost 2 years, I kept the habit up, which is not good. It helped me talk to people confidently, though, in social situations, collect my thoughts right, say the right things to people, and be happy around other people, be comfortably social. But the effects were amazing. They helped me so much, but the after effects definitely brought me down and left me more anxious than I was. So pursuing this, you know, for however long I did, almost 2 years, just helped me, but it helped me have conversations with people because I actually could. And as deep as a hole as I got into, it was really hard to get out of. And the short-term satisfaction of being social, not being my true self, would help, you know, deal with the draining effects that they gave me, some of the joy of being comfortably social. But part of me realized that there was no way to like keep doing this myself, because obviously that's not healthy. And after 2 years' time realizing that social anxiety, I decided to take charge. And I took it out and told my mom. She was obviously in denial, like, you don't have social anxiety, that's not real, but it is. And so I finally went to the doctor and got help. But now after a year and a half of pushing myself for continuous experimentations of medicines to like try and figure out, you know, what can fix this like confusing thing that, you know, doctors and stuff can't even like figure out themselves. They're like, why is it so confusing? But I'm trying, and I'm on the road to improvement. And social anxiety is real, along with a bunch of all the other mental illnesses. And if you don't experience it yourself, you know, you have to realize that other people do. For so many years, people would tell me to just get over it, which is not something that you can do, especially if you experience it all the time in your own mind. 50 million people around the U.S. deal with social anxiety, and it is a real mental illness, you know, not one that is just made up. And as many people deal with it for so long, it's been the lowest of lows. It's hard being in your own mind when you can't control it, let alone anybody else, and if they're making it worse. It's just as important as your physical health, even though people might tell you otherwise, and you can overcome it if you just have like the right strength to do it. Take the right steps. So this is me telling you, if you have a friend who deals with anxiety, or find ways to help them, be kind. Don't look at them as if they aren't worth it or if they're ridiculous for thinking that way, because they can't help it themselves. And encourage them and motivate them, love them for who they are, and help them in the ways that you can. Find the strength to deal with it if you are dealing with it. Dealing it with on your own, isolating yourself from others and separating yourself from great opportunities is not good. You know, looking down on yourself and hating yourself for all of it is not good. You just need to find a way to push yourself to find ways to fix it instead of, you know, doubting yourself. You need to realize your confidence and realize your worth to the world, even though some people might not understand. It does get tough. But I'm telling you now that it's worth it to find who you can really be. If you find the right help and overcome it. Stop finding excuses not to do it. Help yourself, because your mental health is just as important as your physical health, and helping yourself will be worth it in the end, I promise. Thank you. Da-da-da-da. That was a lot. I know I was looking at the screen the whole time. I'm sorry.
It's
I know that was a
you're not
lot.
graded on your presentation. I'm being graded right now. So,
It's me. I know it's a lot. Just say whatever you need to say.
I like wrote little notes and then I was like,
No, that's
what did
fine.
I mean?
No,
Okay.
same. I did the same thing when I was doing Addison's. I was like, what did I mean with this?
Oh, so for the beginning, this is a what if. Like, you could try this and see if you
Uh-huh.
liked it. What if you
Yes.
started with, like, a hypothetical, like, a picture, you're at a party,
Mhm.
and then all of a sudden,
Yeah.
like, the wall, you know, like, something like
Yes.
that. Or you kind of start, like, by sharing your personal story when you first experienced it,
Mhm.
and then kind of, like, go into, like, what
Yeah.
it is, and then, like, carry on the story.
Yeah.
This is just a good.
No, yeah, no, it's good because I need that. I'm just like the whole time I was like writing this, I was like, how do I start it? Like, you know, and then I just like went into like a whole story and I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah, starting it, I feel like is the hardest part.
No,
So.
absolutely.
I think somehow if you got to like
Mhm.
do this in a interesting way, since you are telling a story, it'd be cool if like there was a visual timeline of it
Mhm.
on a slide.
Yeah,
So
okay.
it's kind of like people can keep track. That's just like
No, yes,
That's
that's
not-
good. No, I
you
like
have to do
this.
that.
Like, no, keep telling me stuff because it gives me ideas.
Okay.
I like it.
all I wrote is drugs, and I don't know what I meant. by that.
You're good,
What was
yeah.
I thinking?
No, it's fine because like like my mental, you know, when I got into that, it was just like, oh well, I can't help myself, so why don't I try this? And somebody else said to do that, and so it helped,
I
yeah.
think like even though like that is like wow, that's like that happens.
It's
you
huge. I know it's
almost like I
huge.
know also because you're not like officially done yet, but you like
Yeah.
downplayed it. So I want you to like make that be like whoa.
Yeah,
you know?
see, I know, and that's
So,
what
like-
I'm afraid of that too because it's like such a huge thing. It's just like when people think of like people doing drugs, they're like, oh my god, like who are they? Like why are they doing that? You know, or they're just such like a horrible person. And so that's like why I was just like I don't want people like to think that of me, but it's also me just like sharing my story and like what I've been through.
And you could even share that like before and be like, I know there's like a lot of stereotypes with this, or like
Yeah.
people think people are bad for doing this,
Yes.
but this is something that happens with like any person.
It really is.
So
Yeah.
just like also reassuring that, which I doubt anyone's gonna be judgy. Like
Exactly.
this is
I
your
know.
personal story, but
I
just
know.
to like even make you feel better.
Yes.
But I think like having that like be like even pausing after like and I decided to turn to prescription drugs and kind of like let that sit for a little bit.
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
go on.
Yeah, I'm sorry. That was so much.
You're fine.
That's a lot.
And this is just something you'll get when you like practice on it more, but
No, yeah.
you can like slow down and like really, because everything you're
Mhm.
saying matters and is like part of
Absolutely,
your story.
yeah.
So just like taking your time with it,
Mhm.
like you would be telling a story to like
No,
your
yeah,
friend.
absolutely. Because
So-
it's like whenever I talk, I always talk so fast, and it's like I can't help it. Like I'm just
especially
like
when I'm nervous and I'm in front of everyone. So just try to like what we said in that mind. Or I don't know if you were there, maybe,
Uh-huh.
but like getting in the mindset if you're just like talking to someone
Mhm.
and it was just like yeah, I'm just gonna tell you what is happening. So. Oh, I put maybe add facts about social, and then you did.
Yeah,
So I was
there was
like,
like
okay,
I put
cool.
a little bit in there. I feel like I should possibly put more.
Or you could even like this could be at the beginning. It's like a hypothetical or your personal story, and then you could be like, this is some before naming what it is, being like,
Mhm.
this is something that affects whatever it was, 50 million
Yeah.
people, or like
50
even
million,
find like
yeah.
another fact about it, or like how doctors don't really know exactly.
Yeah.
Like, there's no cure for it, you know.
Yeah.
So kind of like building it up to be like, what is it? And
Yeah.
then, like social anxiety.
Yes. Yes.
Um.
Because it's true. Like I was reading up on it, and just like doctors, it's like everybody's like so confused. Like they can't find the actual like cure for it, but they have like medicine to be able to like try and fix it. So it's like a whole thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a lot. That was like the first, like whenever I was like thinking of my big talk, I was like, what can I talk about? I'm like, well, I've dealt with this for so long, so I was like, why not say it? I've never really talked about it like this much, so that's why it's kind of nervous. It's fine, it's fine.
Do you have any like personal opinions about it? Like, do you think it should be more of like you should get more help, like
Mm-hmm.
counseling and therapy, or do you like how it's like here's a drug for it? Because I know some people are
No,
like,
yeah.
I don't understand why we just keep throwing drugs on people. It should just be
Mhm.
more like
Yeah, well, like, I tried to do therapy, and, like, the thing, like, with my social anxiety was, like, talking to a complete stranger, you know, and feeling like, you know, they're just talking to you, asking you questions, not really, like, just getting to know, like, the basic facts was just, like, I don't like this, because they're not, like, actually getting to know me, but also my mind is, like, you know, what if,
yeah,
like,
that's true.
so that's why I was just, like, I tried it at first, then my mom was, like, I don't want to pay for that. Like, that's so expensive. You don't need to be going to that. So it's a whole situation.
Yeah, even that you could even add being like, even trying to get help, like my anxiety down in
Yeah.
of that, because I was thinking, what if.
Yes.
Which I don't think, did you mention that? I don't think you did you? So, if you want to.
Yes, no, yes. Because I'm just a whole mess.
And then when you're listing, like, what people can do to help others or themselves, you could, not like bullet point it, but like somehow show, like, what they can do,
Yes.
like either,
Yes.
like, on a visuals.
What can you do?
So I think when you're listing, like, it's hard to be like, this is important stuff, I want to remember it, but then
Yes.
you can, like, look at it while you're
No,
talking.
yeah.
I'm a visual learner, so I
No,
don't
you're
have to
fine,
look
yeah,
at
because I
it.
mean, I have to do a presentation with this so people can actually like just focus on it and like, know exactly what I'm saying. Because I'll be talking, but it's also like, it's like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
So that's all I have written down.
Alright, that's Gucci.
What's next?
Oh, I'm so nervous to read this stuff.
Feedback, show strengths, improvement.
I want to make an impact and like it's just so hard because it's so confusing even to me. Like whenever I experience it and just people are just like, oh, get over it, like it's not a big deal. But then in my mind I'm just like, how the hell do I even explain it to somebody? It's like if somebody doesn't like experience it, so
You could even say that.
yeah.
Be like, it's hard to like
Yeah.
give this talk because
Yeah.
it is so hard to explain what I'm.
Yes.
Which I think a lot of people.
No, yes,
would
that's
relate.
good. I'm glad you said that. Because it really is.
So I feel like a lot of times people are like, I don't know how to say this, and then they say it. I'm like, say that.
Yes, say exactly.
Just say exactly what you said. I just want to read through this.
No, you're good. You're good. Take your time.
Yeah, I think just overall, like, you can, obviously you'll get better, but it's when you keep
Yes,
going
of
through it, but
course.
just like slowing down and making sure you're taking time, like, this is your time, so you can just like
Yes. Yeah, it's my
own
time.
it, you know.
I was thinking about that too. I'm just such a fast talker. I'm always a fast talker.
Oh.
I just try and fill in the space. Like if I try to talk,
I noticed if I have coffee the day I present, then I'm like,
jittery.
so I'm like, I can't drink coffee. So that's my tip for you, don't drink coffee right before
I
you do
remember
it.
that. Don't drink coffee.
Okay, we're gonna do the modeling part. No, wait, line by line.
Line by line.
Okay, let's do where you talk about when you started prescription drug or unprescribed drugs.
Yeah, okay.
And then how I said like maybe trying it like
Yes. Let me see.
more
serious
intensity.
Okay. Yes. All right. So mine was. I said, "Can I sit down or should I stand?" I should probably stand.
Like probably
I know, I should tell you, I'm just like, I want to be comfy. Okay, so, let me see. So it says, okay, I had no way out of my mind then, but soon enough, I thought I found a solution.
Pause.
Pause, okay. Yeah.
So I found a solution.
Mhm.
You're like, oh, she found a solution.
Like,
And
should I
then-
just, like, I found a solution, just like
It'd
in
be
a
like, so like,
uh-huh.
soon enough I thought I found a solution.
Yeah.
And then go into whatever the next line is.
Yeah, someone I knew offered me something that would help boost my mood and get me to be social, if only for a short amount of time. If that works with it, I tried to like describe it in a way which it wasn't just like bad, because like the whole thing, because it's like, because it's just weird. I don't know. I don't really know what like to word there, because it's just like
read it.
no, you're good. It's just like kind of like in the air. It seems like.
So I thought I found a solution. Someone I knew offered me something that would help me boost my mood and get me to be social, if only for a short amount of time.
So yeah, it's like in the air.
So,
Kind of.
you could say that even after you say what it is. So like a solution, I started taking unprescribed drugs
Yeah.
to help me.
Yeah.
Someone gave me these, and then I thought it would like
Yes,
do this and this.
yeah,
So
yeah,
kind of
yeah.
like say what it is, and
That's
then like
good,
give
yeah.
like a.
That's good. Let me try that. Okay. So, I had no way out of my mind then, but soon enough, I thought I found a solution. My freshman year of college, I started to take unprescribed drugs to help with my social anxiety. And for almost 2 years, I continued this habit almost every day. Someone I knew offered me. Well, maybe I could just delete that. Or I could be like, it helped boost my mood
You'd be like, I'm not gonna lie, it did help.
Yes,
like,
yeah.
Even though
There we go.
I wasn't supposed to.
Even though I wasn't supposed to. Okay, yeah. There we go, that's good. Okay, yeah, that works. Let's see. My freshman year of college, I started to take unprescribed drugs to help with my social anxiety, and for almost 2 years, I continued this habit almost every day. I'm not gonna lie, even though I wasn't supposed to, they helped boost my mood and got me to be social, if only for a short amount of time. That works. I like that better, so much better, because I was just like awkward whenever I said that. I was like,
I think also, have you like said it, like read this out loud before?
Huh?
Have you like
I read it to
out loud?
myself, kind of, like
I
to
think
see
even
what
reading
was
out loud, you can hear it, and you're like, oh wait.
I know. Oh wait, I know. Whenever I was like reading it to you, I was just like thinking. I wasn't like reading line by line, which I should. I should like get it set down, but it's just like a memory game.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's see. It helped me talk to people confidently in social situations, collect my thoughts right, say the right words to people, and be happy with the way I was. But once they would wear off, I would come back to my unwanted and dreadful normal self, and my anxiety was back to the way it was, if not worse. But the effects were amazing. They helped me so much, which kept me pursuing the substance for the satisfaction of being a normal person and having sustainable conversations with people because I actually could. Yeah, that's decent. Okay. This was a problem, as I wasn't prescribed these and had bought unreasonable amounts, but I kept doing it. About 20% of Americans with anxiety or mood disorders, such as depression, have alcohol or other substance abuse disorders, such as myself. So I pretty much do, I guess. Well, had to. Okay, that's another fact in there. It's like weird putting them in there.
Let me see if you can like make it.
No, you're good. Do you, boo. Do it. Do what you gotta do. I don't care.
That's why they kept doing it. You could be like, I think what a lot of people don't realize is people with like mood disorders and anxiety, they become like, or I don't know, like, not dependent, but like something about how like they turn to these things because they've almost like, I don't know what else to do.
Yeah, there's
like,
nothing else to do. So how should I word that? Should I just be like, a lot of people don't realize that, I know, I need to
be like when you, a lot of people don't realize when you are going through something like this and it's so internal, that's all that you, like that's all that your mind believes to be true, so you literally look to anything to like help that.
When you're going through something like this, your mind turns to it. Your mind turns to it to think that
It turns to, I don't know what.
You're good.
Turns to.
People don't realize when you're going through this. Your mind turns to. Maybe that's not right. Your mind thinks that. I'm still not good at wording things.
We have time.
We have
Don't realize that when you're going through something like this, your mind
thinks. Our minds.
Because I don't want to like speak for yourself.
No, yeah.
Your mind. How would you describe like what? Not to get deep, but
No, you're
how
good.
would you describe like what were you feeling? Like how did you feel? Like okay, this is what I have to do to like. Help myself.
Well, I was just like, I feel helpless, so.
So you could be like, when your mind like is helpless, this is the only like glimmer of hope that it sees or something. Something poetic.
That is poetic. Only glimmer of let's see, only real hope you have. Let's see how that is. A lot of people don't realize that when you're going through something like this, your mind is helpless. And this is the only real, and this is the only solution that exists.
And it believes it's the only solution that
Yes. Good. And okay, yeah. A lot of people don't realize that when you're going through something like this, your mind is helpless and it believes that's the only solution to exist, right?
Mm.
That sounds good. That sounds good. It'll sound better if I actually work on it. You know, I have to be confident about it and stop stumbling over my words and words like that. Okay.
For the modeling part, what if we tried the where you maybe start with a hypothetical or your personal story, this is the beginning, just to see.
So just start with the story.
And I'll stand up here with you.
No, yeah, you're good. Let
Model.
me see.
Because right now it's whatever that is, but you could
Okay.
try to think of something.
Yeah, I know. Because I was just fears. I could just think of it. Because all this stuff at the beginning, really doesn't matter. Just getting people to realize that fear is something, true. And people really do deal with phobias. But I can always put it somewhere else. But I could start with, all of it started in high school. You know? Should I start there? Because that's pretty much all.
What? I'm trying to think of. Sorry. So it could be do you remember where you were, what you were doing the first time you were
Not the first time, but I do remember as I got older, I would just stay to myself. So that's why it's confusing because it was never an actual set situation. When I was reading up on it, because I never knew about it until recently that it was a thing. But it truly is, and people who 36% of people who deal with it don't realize that they have it until 10 years later, because it's just such a internal thing that it's just and then you're it's not a problem, it's just normal. Yeah, it's just the way it is. So, yeah.
I think even if you just went up there, you said, so it all started in high school.
Yeah, see, yeah.
Blah, 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 blah.
It started that way, yes, yeah. All started, because would it be what's it? People would be what's
you're building up to it.
Exactly. Yeah. I could probably find a bigger opening if I really thought about it, but I still have time. So I'm Gucci. All of it started in high school. I've been going through the same small town with the same people for almost 10 years, and I would continue on there for the rest of my school career. I've been involved with, yeah. Okay, yeah. So, it tells, how it went down. I began avoiding social situations that I could possibly encounter. And then, it's crazy to realize now, but I had no clue at the time. I had started to develop my social anxiety disorder. Cool. I feel that kind of works, if I started that way. I was thinking about that yesterday. I was I should probably start with a story instead of just starting with something random. But, I feel that works.
Do you want to try it? Just act you. That's how you would start it.
Yes. Let's do this. Okay. All right.
You can even start where you're just walking up.
Walking up.
So. Listen up.
I wish I could start like that. That would probably help me out a bit, but who knows how Ashley would react to it. Okay.
Well, I'll be mountain. It's a little bit.
Yeah, girl. Okay, ready? All right. All of it started in high school. I had been going to the same school, same small town school, for the same people for about 10 years' time, and I would continue on this way for the rest of my high school career. I had many extracurricular activities, participated in theater, band, volleyball, softball, but as the year went on, the more and more I would avoid going to them, until I no longer continued to go to them. And from then on, I would come home every day after school, go up to my room by myself, and until the next day, I would still be by myself. I began avoiding any social situation that I could possibly encounter. I would even avoid talking to my parents by waiting for them to go to bed for me to even go downstairs at all. I even began avoiding phone calls from my friends and text messages from them who had been around my whole entire life, yet for some reason I thought this wasn't a problem. It's crazy to realize now, because I had no clue at the time, I had started to develop my social anxiety disorder that's been around ever since. According to a 2007 ADAA survey, 36% of people percent of people with social anxiety disorder report experiencing it 10 years before they even actually notice it.
Yeah. I think you'll put that up on a slide.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I'll probably put that since it's a fact and it's boom, in your face. Okay. I never thought it was a problem to be antisocial and avoid anyone that I possibly could, when really it was. When I went off to college, this is one other thing that I'm like thinking about. Talking about like the roommate that I had, I don't know if it like really connects completely. Because it's like I could also talk about like going into college and just like avoiding situations. I don't know. It's just complicated.
When I went to college, it got even worse. You could even like, because I feel like you have a lot, but you could even like condense it to just like shorter sentences that still get the point across.
Yes.
You said
That's what I was
something up
thinking
here,
too.
and I was thinking, I was like, oh, she could have said it like this. But then I was like, I don't want to stop her.
No,
'cause I
you're
feel
good,
bad.
you're good, you're
So then I'll be
good.
like, stop.
No, if you have to stop me, always stop me.
Okay.
I don't care. Do what you need to do.
It was like a little thing, but I was like,
Yeah,
she
no,
should
go
say it like
ahead,
this.
go ahead.
Where is it?
It's probably the ones that all started in high school. Those are the ones that I just now
Well,
read,
I
so.
lived in, almost 10 year, wait, all of it started in high school. I've been going to the same small town school for the past 10 years. Or you could even say like, yeah, just kind of condensing it. So like, I had been going to the same town or same small town high school for the past 10 years, which I would continue till I graduated. I was involved in many extracurricular activities. But as what year was senior year or like was it?
As like I graduated.
Okay.
Yeah, as I graduated high school. Just saying, because I was just like, as like when I was like in high school, for some reason.
But throughout my high school career, I started to avoid like going to the. I'm trying to think of the specific line.
No, you're good.
Oh, I would avoid. Okay, so I began avoiding any social situation that I could possibly encounter. I would even avoid.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I even began to avoid texts and calls from my friends. So like it's just kind of like shorter.
Yes. Text and calls, yes. And put it together. Okay, yeah, that's good.
But you could just go through
I know for
this
some,
and
like,
be
I'm
like, oh, I
thinking-
can say it shorter. Like
Yes,
this or
I know. There's so much I could possibly do with that. I just like wrote it because I was like, it's not.
I just need to get it out.
I know. I'm like, let me get it out.
Okay.
Because I just didn't think it would be long enough. But it's good.
Do you want to try? Because I know, like, she always talks about, like, moving around the room. Like,
No, yes, I will
do you want to try that? Or even, like, because I know right now you're trying to be like, I need to remember this. But,
No,
like,
yeah.
eye contact, just making sure you're at
I
least, like,
know.
acknowledging the audience.
And I'm like so bad at eye contact. Like it's like one of my just really bad. Like every time Ashley, like for one of the speeches, of all the speeches that I did, she was just like, you need to make eye contact with your audience. But I'm just like, it's so hard for me sometimes just to make eye contact. But
You can even, like, what I do is just look at the top of their heads or, like, look right above them, and it looks like I'm looking at them, and I'm actually not. And I'm like, yeah, I can do this all day.
I can do this all day. Just look at their foreheads. It's
In
funny.
case it's, like, the actual eyes are, like, what
Yes.
scares you. Just be like, I'm not looking at your eyes right now.
So you know, you're like looking up
Yeah.
here, but I couldn't even
But they
tell.
couldn't tell from, like,
Yeah.
their eyes.
I don't. For like some reason, whenever I look at people in the eyes, if I'm doing like a presentation, then I just like freeze, or I'll think about something else.
Yeah.
Freaking mind. Why me? Okay, here we go. So I'll try to move around the room.
Wherever feels that, like, don't just, like,
Let me walk
aimlessly,
around the
just kind of,
altar.
like,
Okay, I got it. Alright. Okay. All of it started in high school. I have been going to the same high school for the past 10 years and would continue on for the next, until I graduated. I had been involved with a bunch of extracurricular activities, such as theater, band, volleyball, all that kind of stuff. But as the years went on, I would go on to not be involved with these at all. From then on, I would come home a day after school and go up to my room and be by myself most days. I would begin to avoid any social situation that I could possibly encounter, such as talking to my parents even. Whenever they would go to bed, I would be by myself, and whenever I would have phone calls come in or text messages from my friends, I would avoid those as well, even though we've been friends for years. Yet for some reason, I thought that this was not a problem. Okay, yeah. I'm so bad. My mind is just like a mess. It's just like everywhere. It's like it's scattered. Ugh.
I think what else is even, like, once you get it, that are, like, what you actually want to talk about, doing, like, little bullet points of, like, 10 years of high school, parents,
Mhm.
like, so you know, oh, this is what I was trying to say.
I
So then
know,
it's easier
but
to,
that's what I did on my note cards.
instead of just being like, I have to say it word for
I
word.
know,
'cause
I
that's, like,
know.
the
I did that
worst.
like on my note cards too, because I was just like, started off with this, dot, 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 and like go on with it.
Yeah.
But I'm also like, I will ramble, and I'll just like be like, and not think of the right words if I don't do that, so. Ugh. Okay. I know, it's pretty long. So like for my slides, I'm thinking about that. Like, you said like a timeline, right? For my slides, didn't you say that? You're just like,
Yeah, that was an idea, yeah.
Yes.
So, like, while you're telling your story, maybe, like, do you have pictures from this time? 'Cause
Mhm.
that would
I
be
have
cool.
pictures, yes.
Just,
of,
like,
my
giving
life.
them an idea of, like, oh, this is where she was. Or
Yes, yeah.
friends at
No,
high
yeah.
school.
I know, I'll have to like think like deeper on that kind of stuff because that was so long ago. But still, yeah, like it happened, and then throughout the years it just changed too. But yeah, I know I have to like go back and look at pictures. So I was like, how am I gonna do this presentation like over my life? I'm like, I don't know. I'm just a mess. But it's
And just
fine.
remember, you're the only one that knows the story the best, so there's no way you can, like, really mess up. 'Cause
No,
it's
it's
just what happened to you,
true.
so
It's
no one's gonna be
true.
like, that was wrong.
Yeah, I know, that's wrong. You see, that's wrong. That's a good idea. Yeah, I need to remember that. Because I just think too much. It's annoying. Okay. I mean, I could. Definitely, I'm gonna like highlight that I'm gonna start off with like an actual story. Like, and then maybe with. Should I just like get rid of like the first part? Like everyone has dealt with some kind of fear in their own life, maybe all of this. Like should I just get rid of that and just focus
You
on the social part?
You could even have that.
Yeah.
I think it just comes down to you, but, like,
Mhm.
it is kind of like a introductory, but, like,
Yeah.
it's not, you know.
Yeah.
Because what you are telling is your story, so I think if you cut it, it wouldn't be, like,
Yeah.
it would be fine. if you
Yeah,
did.
no, it's okay. And I will let me see. You have to line through it. I don't really believe it, just in case. Because I should put the third, because that's a good fact, like the third largest psychological disorder, which is huge. Like I didn't know that it was like such a huge, like, disorder through people. Like,
What if
there's-
you even before you said, sorry,
Mhm. No, you're good. You're good.
where you were talking about, like,
Uh-huh.
I realized, or
Mhm.
wherever it said, like, I realized I had social, just being like, I realized I had the third largest psychological disorder.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
Which,
yeah.
or,
That's a
like,
good
somehow
idea.
being
Yeah.
like, what is it? It's the third?
What? I know, I should put that. That's a good idea.
That's just a,
No, it's good, girl. I like that. It helps so much. I'll put that in there, and I'll like definitely like revise it later just to make sure. It looks so long, and I like when I was reading it to myself, like as I was like reading it slowly, it was like 9 minutes, which is like it seems so long on this, but it's also like it has to be like 9 minutes to like get it.
8 to 10, I think.
Yeah.
I'm just checking.
No, you're
It's
good.
12 minutes.
Okay. You got it, girl. What's yours gonna be on?
Mine's about sex education in America.
Okay.
Which someone else is also doing, so I was
Really?
like, yes.
The
I'm
same
kinda
exact
worried.
thing?
Kind of, but she's taking like a little different route, but I'm
Uh-huh.
still like, it's like the same.
Who is it?
What's her name? I don't know, like, I'm so terrible at names. I know your
Yeah,
name's
no,
the
it's
same
fine.
as
It's
mine.
the exact same.
I think she sits near you, though.
Mm-hmm. Is it Caitlin, Tiffany, Allison?
What does Allison look like?
Addison?
She's like tall.
No, Addison's the one with the dark hair.
Oh,
The one with
okay.
like the wavy hair who talked about like her personal.
With her friend, yeah, it was
Is
her.
that her?
Mhm.
Okay, she's talking about that too.
Yeah.
Okay, that's interesting.
So I'm like, okay. We're going on different days, but like, I'm glad we're both talking about it because it's something that should be
I mean,
talked
yeah,
about. But
it's
she's
something that
going
should
first,
be.
so everyone's gonna be like, wait a second.
Yeah,
We already heard this talk. But I'm gonna try my best.
No, you got it, girl. You got it.
Yes, I think that's an awesome like you're able to share this.
You know, and it's like it's very touchy, you know, which is like very difficult to me
That's
because I'm just
people
like
love to hear.
I know that's the thing.
That's what's impactful.
I know. I told Addison about it. I was like, this is like one thing that I can actually like relate about and talk about, which is like very important. She's like, that's awesome. She's like, I support you. I love it when people like talk about the personal stories, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But like for me, still, it's just kind of hard. Like to be able to get it out.
vulnerable.
Yeah, it's difficult. But I just don't want people to be like, oh my god. I just want people to like realize that it's an actual thing going on in people's lives.
Yeah. And I don't think you ever came off. So.
Good.
Like you're very like, this is what happened, this is what's happening, like this is what you
I was gonna end it up like that. Help me.
Help me. Develop a plan.
Develop a plan, is that what it means?
Yeah, so I'll just read it. The coach should guide the speaker in priorities and strategies to make improvements between coaching sessions and or between the coaching sessions. Oh, so is this like, as you practice this week, this is an example, as you practice this week, I'd recommend running the presentation out loud. I feel like I kind of said that. Maybe.
You did, yeah.
So like, because I was like, you'll get this when you practice it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so definitely read it out loud.
Yeah, just like, even if you're in your car, just be like,
Just
I'm
try and
gonna
like
go
read
through
it,
my
yeah.
speech.
I know, because it's
That's what I
on
did for
Friday,
mine.
so.
Yeah,
So class.
Because do we have class Wednesday?
I think that's when the first speeches start.
Okay.
I think, yeah, that's when they first start.
Oh.
Yikes.
On a scale from 1 to 10, how like nervous are you?
Oh, very. I'm always nervous for speeches. Every time before them, I'm always like preparing. It's my fault for procrastinating, but like talking in front of, because like my anxiety, especially like the social anxiety part. I know people get nervous for speeches, but like I freeze up a lot if I like, I don't know, just in my mind I'll freeze up with, because it's like all of these people just watching you, just one person, and they're all thinking about what you're saying, and they're all watching you, which is like a whole, like I can't.
I just want to reassure you, everyone's doing that, so no one's gonna be
I
like,
know.
this stupid
I know,
girl up
this
here.
is
Like
stupid.
everyone's all in the same boat, so we're all gonna be like, everything's fine.
Everything's
It's
fine.
okay. We all support you. All the
Everybody's
staff.
like, being
I'm that passionate about it right now.
Yep.
Also, all the time, like anytime I've seen you speak, you never seem nervous.
Oh, good.
You just seem like, okay, that's what I'm talking about.
Good,
Like I
good.
could see like maybe how she was like working on eye contact, but to me it was just
Yes.
kind of like I'm thinking about what I'm saying.
Yes, I know.
So like, just make sure you like at least look at them.
I know. I
Yeah,
know.
You've never like seemed like.
Good. I mean, like, nobody has. I remember, like, we were talking about it, like,
I feel
nobody ever
that.
seems anxious up there, which is great. I'm like, God, good. Yay! And I just talked to Jack and Paige, and they were just talking about their speeches, too. So I'm like, they're on the same boat as us.
Yeah.
Everybody's on the same boat as us.
Yeah.
So, it's not
And
big
just
deal.
think the class thing is done, and then
Yep.
it's just a class.
It's just a class. It's nothing. After it's done, it's not going to be a big deal. It's going to be over. And that's it. And that's it. Yep. And I can't wait for it to be over. Oh my God. Can't wait. Okay, well, definitely read it out loud. Make a presentation over timeline stuff. That's a good idea.
You
Like
can even
whatever.
like go through it and be like, oh, this would be a good like, kind
Yeah.
of flag it and be like, I should put a slide about something
Yes.
here. Just so you
Yeah.
kind of have an idea of like how it links up with.
Absolutely, because I mean, just like going from like, cause like high school, like when it started, like around the time I could find pictures. I have so many pictures on my computer. I have like a whole terabyte full of pictures, so I could like go back on there and look at pictures from like my high school and find some like during the time. And then when the facts come around, I can just put facts up there, like important points. Definitely, I just need to find like a good theme for it too.
But you're good at that. Like,
Thank you. Yeah, usually
stuff,
like
especially since you're like a photography and all that. You know how to
Whenever
do
I
all
do it
that.
though, like every time I've made a presentations, like everybody else like has like a background, like it just like a blank background. But whenever I do it, I just make the whole frame a picture. And
Like, come here.
everyone's just like push it on it, like that's
It always you make it work though. It's good.
Yay! Thank you. That makes me happy. Maybe one day I'll be able to be a good presenter and show my pictures if that ever happens. Who knows what will happen? Nice timeline. Add facts. I'll probably work on my presentation tonight and just like edit like the small parts of it and just get all the other words out that I don't need. It's a lot of words. Talk slower so that way I don't have to think my whole. It's good.
Yeah.
Yep. It's Gucci.
6 minutes.
I probably doesn't have to go all the way to 50, does it?
What do you think, Ashley?
Yeah, what do you think? That's what Addison and I did. We said some stuff to Ashley when we were on it. We're like, oh, I hope she doesn't watch this. And we're like, oh, she probably will. So she'll see it. She'll see it.
I'll just go through what I said.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. Go ahead.
So your goals were
Mhm.
get the point across.
Yep.
Do you think even like your ending, you can even like
Mhm.
just make sure you're like, I'm passionate about this and like showing that.
Yeah.
Not saying I'm passionate
No,
about this,
yeah.
but like making sure like this matters.
Yeah.
I care about this. This is why you
Yes.
should
Yeah.
like show that.
Uh-huh.
That it is a real thing, which I think obviously sharing a personal story shows that, and
Yes.
probably people in the audience also experience this.
See,
and
that's
will
what
be
I'm like hoping.
Thank you.
I know, that's what I'm hoping. I want people to be able to be like, hey, I can actually like relate to that.
Yeah.
Because like you can't tell.
Mm.
Like I mean, I don't know. Like I know sometimes people can tell with me. They're like, why are you sitting in the back corner? Like why are you always by yourself? I'm like, I don't know. Like that's what I do.
You don't know my life.
I know you don't know. You know, people always say that to me, but I'm just like, I wonder if other people like experience it as much. Because I know people have anxiety, and like whenever like you know if you go somewhere you're really nervous, like you experience that like talking to people sometimes. I don't know, but it's just like all the time. It's crazy. It's a crazy thing.
You said make hypothetical / share personal story first.
Mm-hmm.
Visual timeline of story, drugs.
Mhm.
Which we know what that means. So
I'm so nervous to say that part though. Should I like say that? Because I was like thinking about like I was talking to my friend who was like that I've known for a long time. He's like, well, if you're gonna talk about this, I mean, it's like your personal story, so you can say whatever you want, you know, and show people like what you've been through. I'm like, it's just like so me.
and I think that's like that's part of it. The
It
good, the bad,
is.
the ugly is like
Yep, all
what
that's
it
part
is.
of it. Yeah.
So are you afraid people are gonna be like,
Yes, I know.
there's
I
people out there
know.
that smoke weed. Like,
I know. There's
what
so
are you
many
talking
people,
about?
I know.
You're fine.
Let's see. Pretty much maybe everybody. We'll see. Maybe. No, that's
Sorry,
true.
I don't think people will be
know.
like, Carlee, like they'll be like,
Yeah,
wow,
I
like
know.
this was really you know. Like,
Yeah, they're just gonna be
like,
surprised. I
think
feel
it's
like.
but
Yeah.
you know, just
Just
it happened.
Yep, it did. It was a part of it.
Yeah. So I think that's a good part because I think not that this has to be your like, whatever she calls it, like your boom.
Yeah, your boom pow.
But I think the way you would like build that up and present it could be like a
Could be big, yeah.
Like, oh wow.
It could
Because
be.
building up like, oh, all this crap is happening. I don't know what to do. I need
Yeah,
this.
and then like
And
stop. I feel like I could like when I get to it, I could just like stop, slow down, because you know I'm like building up the story, blah, 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 and then stop at that point and just be like, and that's
Shit got real.
yeah, she got real. Yeah, that works.
Yeah. Just make sure you slow down because what you say matters.
Yes,
so
yes.
Take
yes.
your time.
And it is my own story.
Yes. So you're the best person that can tell it.
Yep.
Add facts. You said, and you have done that.
Yep.
Oh yeah, and listing what you can do to help us look at visuals somehow.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That works. That works.
3 minutes.
She's gonna be a thin.
Let me just read through this again to make sure I'm not forgetting anything.
No, you're good. Are you gonna bring note cards up for yours?
For like the final one,
Presentation.
I hope I don't,
Yeah,
but
I
like
know. But still, it can
I
help.
can't even imagine like
Doing this.
memorizing it.
Yes,
Like I know it's possible, people do it, but I'm like, how do you do
See,
this?
this is me right now. You know how I feel. I did not memorize this at all. I don't know how I'm gonna do it, but I'll do it. It'll work.
I think just even making sure you like obviously you know your story, just like instead
Mhm.
of getting in your head, which is hard to don't
It's
get
so
in your
hard,
head.
I know,
But like
yeah.
just being like, I'm just telling it and this is what's
Mhm.
happening.
Yeah,
you
just
know?
tell it. Yeah, I know. I know.
Which is so hard to
Oh,
do.
oh, it
It's
is.
easy to say, it's hard to do.
But how to do? Yep. I know. And just like figure it out. You know, cut down all the rest of the words that I don't need and just.
And not that you would like lean on your slides, but like kind of
Uh-huh.
having your slides as a reference, like, oh, I'm still talking about this. Okay.
Yes,
la, la, la,
yes.
la.
I know. That's what Addison did with hers. Like she was like, oh, I started mine on Monday, and dude, she was like, the day of on Thursday, she was like, oh, this is the first time that I'm actually like presenting it, and dude, I was like, she had like the whole slides out. She was like had what she had to say. She had her note cards in her hand, but she didn't even look at them. And I'm like, oh my goodness. I was like, we'll see how I do. Okay.
It's Lauren.
That's funny.
It's funny. Everyone's in the library right now. We're like,
We're trying, but okay, we're fine. All right.
you're gonna be. You got this.
Yep.
You have time. Just
Yep.
Go through it.
Girl, you have all the time in the world.
But I have to like have a rough draft Wednesday.
Yeah.
I think it's like you have to turn in a rough draft.
Wait, did you do your coaching? No, your coaching session
I'm coaching
tomorrow.
tomorrow. I will be coached tomorrow.
Yeah, okay.
Things. That's what I'm doing
Is
today.
it Wyatt? Is Wyatt
Yeah.
yours? Okay, yeah. That should be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. No big deal.
Which I don't, like she said, that's not about the presenter, it's about the coach. So.
Yep, yep.
Hope I did well.
Please
gonna keep like looking at the camera.
And I still need to edit Addison and I's and like find like the good parts of ours. So I just like I don't want to listen to myself talk
Oh yeah.
because I hate listening to myself talk.
Oh, during the like standalone, I was like, like I would just like imitate my voice and like I hate how I sound right now. Like I hated it.
Did you guys hear this? That is so funny.
Yeah. But I ended up getting A+. So.
You go, girl.
Okay, I have like 20 seconds left. I think
But we're done.
we're done. Okay.